No.
My name is Marvin. For some of y'all that don't know me, I would like to give a little short testimony of myself, because I see a couple of new faces. And first of all, I love the Lord. And thank Him this morning, y'all.
Yeah.
Thank Him this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank Him this morning.
Thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Somebody didn't wake up this morning.
Yeah. Thank you, Lord.
Somebody didn't wake up.
Yes.
But God.
Right. But God.
I'm going to start off with a little short testimony, like I said a second ago. For those who don't know, at the age of 18, I committed a nasty, terrible crime. At the age of 18. I was just going to graduate. Going to go to my prom and everything, but I got distracted.
Yes. Yes.
I made the wrong choice.
Yes.
That's all. You know, we make mistakes.
Yeah.
I made a big mistake, a terrible mistake. I caught my crime in 1978. I was 18 years old,
Yeah.
and I was given a life sentence.
Yeah.
I didn't get to graduate. I detoured.
Good word. Good word.
I made a bad choice,
Yes.
a wrong choice.
Yes.
We got wrong choices and right choices.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was sent to prison with that life sentence at the age of 18.
Yeah.
Went right on down now.
Yeah.
Mad, furious, I was angry, full of hate,
Yes. Yes.
but God.
But God. Yeah.
It's all right if I tell the truth in here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's what we need
Then
to
I
hear.
tell the truth.
Yeah.
I went down that penitentiary, and the devil had me. Matter of fact, he had me before I went to the penitentiary.
Yeah.
He was the one that tempted me
Yeah.
and told me that it was okay to do what I did.
Yeah.
But it was a lie. It was a lie. Anyway, I ended up going down there, y'all. Let me make this kind of short. I went down there. I got involved in every mischievous, devious, nasty, perverted thing that you can think of
Yes.
in the penitentiary. I did it. But God.
But God.
But God.
Yeah.
I want to tell y'all, get that in your mind, in your heart, and in your soul. I ended up going down there, committing into all sorts of things, terrible things. Riots. I was in riots, fighting against other people who haven't did nothing to me, innocent people, stabbing people, trying to kill people, got stabbed. But God. I got stabbed about 4 times down there, but God. I don't know why I'm here today. I don't even know why I'm here today. I'm a riot. I was in riots.
Yes. Yes.
I was in riots.
Yeah.
That's where they kill you,
Yeah.
try to take you out. But God. Anyway, I ended up going to various prisons.
Yeah.
You know, Ferguson. I don't know if any of y'all know about it. East Ham. I was at 19 years old on the terrible unit, East Ham. And it was crazy, y'all. But God.
But God.
You would think after a man going through what I went through would be insane, would be crazy, would be out of his mind. And guess what? I was. But God.
But God.
I ended up going to various units, traveling all over the state of Texas, going to these different units, because when you get in altercations and when you do terrible things, they had to get rid of you. They had to move you around for the person's safety or my safety. I would like to say they put you in a box.
Yes.
For 24 hours in prison. It's a box. I'm going to tell you just like it is. It's a little box for 23 hours. You have to sit in there.
Yes.
Come out for a shower, come out for a recreation, whatever. But 23 hours laying up in there, I was getting myself thoughts. Wait a minute. Gotta be a better way, God. Nah, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I can handle it. Couldn't get no visits. Couldn't hear from anybody. Loved ones come 100 miles away to visit me, but I can't get no visit because of the fact that the choice I made. Mom came all the way. I was in Tennessee College at Cofield Unit. That's where I met Ray Daniels.
Yes.
In 1987. I can tell you a little something about that. But anyway, I ended up going to SIG on that unit. And Tennessee College is almost 150 miles away from here. And my mom used to come up there, my mother, to try to visit me, but I was laying up in a box. And they don't tell you you can't get no visit until you get there. So she would drive all the way up there in this type of weather, like right here, to see her son, me. But, oh, you can't see him. He's in lockup. He's in the Ag Seg administration. So just imagine what that did to my mother. But I didn't care. I was in my mad. But anyway, to make a long story short, I ended up going to 2 more units, going back to East Sam. I'm getting old now. I'm getting old. I'm still trying to bang. I'm still trying to get involved in all this rip-rap, this wrong stuff down there. You know, if you do the same thing, you're going to get the same results. And that's what I was doing. Instead of doing the wrong thing, getting the same results. And I finally said, I'm making real quick and fast. I finally told myself, as years went past, as I was getting older. I'm like around 44 now. Remember, I went to prison at the age of 18, y'all. I'm thinking I'm 44 now. I'm still trying to walk around like I'm tough. They started bringing young kids up in there. You know, bones hurting now when I fight. Take me a long time to heal. But anyway, I ended up, I can't do this no more. Lord help me. Set off after set off, you know. Set offs is where when you come up from the road and you go in the room and you talk to somebody, they call themselves interviewing you and they tell you in your face. Set off. You ain't going nowhere with no record like this. I done like, but God. I think I did 24 years at this time. One time this lady say, how did you do that? You ain't never get knocked. But God. That lady told me I wasn't never getting out of prison. I'm 44 years old. Went in when I was 18. She said, you ain't never getting out. Oh God. Oh God. Help me. I'm crying like a little baby. I go back to my dormitory and I'm like, oh my God. I went to drinking, smoking, crazy now. I ain't never getting out. I need help. But I was turning to the wrong thing. The alcohol, the drugs, the gambling. Instead of killing myself. Then finally, somebody introduced me to this. Back then, it still is called Cairo. And Cairo is where you got free world people come inside the prison unit and try to throw you, just introduce you to Christ. It's really what it is. And they feed you. I didn't want to go. Get out of my face. They had asked me. Yeah, a bunch of food. They give you a bunch of free will food. I mean, bunch of food. Stuff I ain't never seen when I was 3. So, I don't want to go there because I thought all punks and faggots went to church. I don't want that jacket. Yeah. I didn't want that jacket. I ain't going in there. So finally, one dude approached me. He was a white guy. He approached me and said, Mark, just check it out. They got fried chicken, man. And when they said fried chicken, I said, woo! I'm going in there. I'm going to go in there and steal all. Listen, I'm going to go in there and steal all their food. I took it. They got bags now, like a trash bag, which is called dumpster bag. So I took my bags in my pocket and stole their food. Yeah, talking about some cheese. But one man told me just like to say, I love you. A white man told me, I love you. I said, you must be crazy. You don't even know nothing about me. I'm a banger. I done committed a terrible crime. What you mean you love me? Fake. So anyway, the man hugged me and said he loved me. But guess what? Well, crap, folks say that. I'm stealing their food. So anyway, I ended up going to the 4-day event. It's a 4-day event where you eat every day. Every day I was going back to my dorm, taking that food and everything out of my sock, out of my jock, and selling it to them fools in there. That's how nasty I was. You gonna sell somebody out your mind crazy. So anyway, I did. Hey man, I laid up in that dormitory, man. Cause I don't care how much food you eat. When the truth is being told, when it's being said, you gonna catch some of it. I caught some of that word, y'all. And it was but God.
Amen.
So I ended up accepting Christ, y'all, in 2004. That's when really my life really started. In 2004 at the East Town. I accepted Christ. Somehow I said, Lord, yeah, I'm going up there because I need somebody. Because I was heavy burdened. I was angry. I was full of hate. I was mad. Like a mangy dog. In this penitentiary. 24 years. I'm 44 years old. I can't do it no more. Watching my back. Sleeping with one eye open. Who tipping to kill me and stab me again. I couldn't do it. So I ended up accepting Christ. But God. I accepted Christ, y'all, and anyway, make a long story short, again, I ended up accepting Christ, going through a lot of events down there in church and everything. And I started learning that thing was seriously getting easier for me at times. And I don't want to misinterpret y'all and confuse y'all how accept Christ, things gonna be easy. No, things gonna get harder. But I had some help. But God. See, the devil ain't gonna help you. I accepted Christ, man, and I went through all the struggles constantly, people talking about it. Remember, at one time, my life was, I had control in the penitentiary where I could kind of like tell people what to do and what not to do. But then when I accepted Christ, they all turned their back on me. Just like when we have people out here today, because you're coming up in this trailer, they're going to try to turn their back on us. That's okay. But God will never turn his back on us. They told me I wasn't going to never get out, so I quit going to church, smoking and drinking. Yeah. I backslid. We all gonna do it from time to time. But God, call on him. He knows already. I ended up backsliding, getting worse than I was. Hey, you ain't never getting out. Then I say, well, you know what? I had a little money down there. Mom, dad gave me something for myself. I said, you know what? I'm gonna give him. They had what they call parole attorney. Parole attorneys, people who's supposed to talk and get you out. Now they already told me I wasn't never getting out on my life sentence. You ain't never getting out. So I said, well, I'm gonna take this money. I had a few grand. 10, 11, 12 grand, and all of a sudden, man, parole attorney. Get them. Everybody was getting them at the time. My dumb self, how man gonna get me out? Man will let you down. Ain't that's what the Bible say? Yeah. Man will let you down. So I get this lady $1,800. Whew! You know, $1,800. You know how many cookies and zuzus and wham-whams that'll buy you down there? Huh? Man, I ended up getting a set off. Y'all, I ended up, when I came back up another 2 years later, they tell me, I paid $1,800. They told me just like this, y'all. Set off. You ain't going nowhere. That's basically what they're telling you. So I gave them my $1,800. Now I'm more mad. I'm more furious. I'm more angry. $1,800. You better let me out of here, lady. You said you gonna get me out. He gave me a setup. God, you gonna call on him. Every knee shall bow and every tongue gonna confess. God, I just gave him it. God help me. That's what I was doing. The $1,800 didn't work, y'all. That's what I'm trying to say. The $1,800 didn't work. All the money in the world ain't gonna work. Brothers and sisters now ain't gonna save you.
Nope.
But God.
But God.
But God.
But God.
But God.
Yeah. But God.
But God.
Yeah.
You got to get that in your soul. You've got to get that in your soul this morning, y'all.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Told me I was set off. I went back to the wing. You know, I'm going to church, y'all. Listen, I'm going to church. And when I got out of church, I went and got some kush. I went and got my wine, my homemade wine. Still dumb. Still stupid. Still ain't realizing snap. But the only thing gonna help me and save me is but God.
But God.
But God.
Yeah.
So one day out of nowhere, I'm gonna show you how good God is. Let me talk, right? I'm gonna show you how good God is, y'all. You know what? In my mansion, when I was smoking and drinking, somebody say, Hugh, legal mail. Legal mail is where you get mail, personal mail. Not the general population, regular mail, but personal mail. And it was like from lawyers and families or who send you something and has contraband in. So legal mail is the ones who have to investigate, see what's in them letters. So I get my mail. My attorney. I don't want to hear from her. $1,800. I don't want to hear nothing from my attorney. So I open it. Oh, congratulations. I'm confused. Congratulations. You've just been granted parole. Oh. I got 5 gallons of wine in my lockers.
And you can lose it all.
I got cushion in my lockers, under my mattress, in my shoes. And I just got a paper saying I'm finna go home. But God.
But God.
See, man, I'll let you down.
Yeah.
But God won't.
Yes.
See, I needed, out of 7, I had to have 5 votes. Because of my aggravated offense, I had a terrible crime. So I had to have 5 out of 7. That's almost like trying to hit a lottery. I know y'all done tried it. Yeah. That's almost trying to get a. All my set off, I had 1 vote. That's how terrible my case was. I gotta tell it like this, y'all. God don't care what you done.
That's right.
He don't care who you are.
Yeah.
He don't care what you done, who you are, how old you is. But God.
But
But
God.
God. Amen. That's how good ministry is. Hallelujah.
But God. But God. Hey, I ended up getting this paper saying I can go home. I gave everything. Everything here. God, I'm gonna serve you the rest of my life. I know ain't nobody done this but God. But God.
Yes.
But God. Hello, how are you? But God.
Yeah.
We're doing some but God in here, baby.
Yeah.
But God.
Yeah.
But God.
Yeah.
But God.
Yeah.
I threw all that crap out of my life.
Thank you,
God, I'm gonna serve you.
Jesus.
Crying. I'm gonna serve you, Lord, the rest of my life. I know you real.
Hallelujah.
Life. I was in prison. Sit down at age 18. But God. They told me I wasn't gonna never get out. God, I committed this crime. That was so.
Nobody can talk that.
But God.
Yes.
But God. But God.
Yeah.
But God. But God.
But God.
But God. But God. But God. But God.
But God. Yeah.
But God.
But God.
But God
Yeah.
today, y'all.
Yeah.
But God.
Yeah.
But God.
Yeah.
Let me give you a minute. But God.
But God.
That's the truth.
They let me out. They let me out, y'all. And they hooked me up with monitors, GPS, box, shackles.
Yeah.
And guess what? I had to put them on.
Yeah.
I was obedient.
Oh, good.
Let me tell them, Ray, I was obedient. You know, I had a brother had that mess on. You know what he did? He cut it off and put it on the dog leg.
Yeah.
Dogs tied up in the house, so they get out in the yard and on the fence, they can't go nowhere. But me, But God, I kept mine on. You'll have to wear that 5 to 10 years. If any of y'all know what a monitor and a GPS is, that's a box everywhere you go. My shirt was sticking out like this,
Yeah.
so everybody knew I was on parole. And that thing on my leg aggravated me.
Yeah.
They tell me I got to wear that 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, right. But yeah.
I might well still be in prison.
Uh-oh.
And then look, they told me you can't look out the window. You better not peep out the window. You better not step out your house. But God, guess what? I did just like they told me. Now, I did just like they told me. I wouldn't even step out the house. Now try staying cooped up in a house for a year. Matter of fact, they called me down there. Hey, we gonna take this off you.
But God.
But they told me, man said 10 years, 5 years. But God.
But yeah.
First person I called up, guess what? Mr. Ray. Ray, then I called you. Man, please come help me. He drove all the way across town. I got to tell y'all today, y'all. This man love y'all. He came all the way. That's his wife. He came all the way from work across town to hear me and listen to what I had to say. Man, I'm about to go crazy. What do I do? Ray, help me, man. What can I do? This dude I went to AA, had me on AA twice a week. This dude, he gave me a ride, but he got weed in his car, and I don't know. Matter of fact, I grabbed it and smoked it. That's how stressed out I was out here. See, the devil will confuse you and lie to you and tell you that it's okay.
Yes.
But he's a liar. He's a liar. You know what? Ray came over to my house from the north side all the way to Hobby Airport, past South Park and all that, and say, man, I love you. Man, I love you. Just hold on, man. Don't go that route. Right there, man. That's the brother to this day got me in this position right now. That brother right there, man. He did. He did. He loved y'all. But God.
But God.
See, it ain't no right. It's the God in him. And his wife. It's the God that's in him.
That's the truth.
I'm trying to get y'all to understand this. It's real, man. God is real.
Real.